Athletes and fans around the world, welcome to another Primetime Muscle. I'm Tim Wilkins. We have a very special guest in studio today. As always, joined by Tarek El-Gindi.
Great to be here. Honored to be next to Stacy Kaufman. He's an iconic figure in bodybuilding.
The inventor of the professional tan for bodybuilders. It's great to see you.
Thank you, Tim.
And you're here in time for Casual Friday with Chris Cormier.
Yes, hey Chris, looking sharp as ever.
How you
I like
doing,
your
my man?
style. Always a pleasure.
Good to see you. Good to see you.
So we've been excited to have you for a whole lot of reasons. We all have our history with you and with Pro-Tan and being a part of the sport for, what, 25, 30 years?
A little longer, 87, but it's okay.
Because you're that young. I just came 87.
37 years.
37 years.
Yeah, it was invented Pro-Tan. We started actually 84, 2 years after the NPC started.
And added a whole new dimension. Before it was just baby oil.
Yep, baby oil, iodine.
See, now I remember, and we just had this because I want to go down this route with you. It's just so wild to me now. It's just done in these pup tents. You make an appointment, come in, they spray you like it's Earl Scheib in 1999. You got to get it. But then I remember the days, you remember this, you call your buddy up, you go, hey man, I need my tan. Can you come over and paint my taint? I need you, there's some spots I can't reach.
Yep.
And I need you to do my undercarriage in the middle of my back.
That's right.
You're saying that's still as good, if you're using Pro-Tan, that's as solid or better than going in the pup tent.
Well, the pup tent's efficient. The pup tent is what people use. I call them tanning tents. Pup tent's kind of fun, though. I like the pup tent word. Look, like any industry, things have progressed. There's more competitors in the sport. There's a lot more opportunities in the sport. So athletes are figuring out ways to let us do the work as opposed to them doing it at the end. But there is no better tan than do it yourself. I say that we love our chicas, but we do our DIY kits, and it was invented to be done by yourself. And if you can take a shower, which all of us can, you can tan yourself. It's that easy.
That's what I like because that's how we used to do it when we were when we were breaking into looking better. Because I didn't start my career off doing tan. I was 1985, 86, 87.
Just before we invented it.
Before, yeah.
Right.
So I was not. So when the tan thing came around, we were doing it ourselves, and we were looking at what's the more efficient way to do it. But we'd be on tour throughout Europe, But I'd grab my Pro-Tan because I started out at the beginning with Pro-Tan. I never went off to some of the other ones that was starting to pop up and become popular, throughout some of the countries, European countries, stuff like that. But I was a homegrown Pro-Tan guy, and if applying it yourself, we started to use, had the brush.
There's an old poly brush, 2-inch poly brush.
Then we went to the roller.
Yep. The roller was Europe. The roller got big in Europe, which works well.
Yeah, worked well. Went to the Europe.
Yeah.
And then, but we would just ask each other. I mean, because like nowadays, competitors like to be like this, and they don't like to do anything themselves. I can't wipe myself. I can't chew without someone's got to do it for me, right? So, but we would in between the legs, underneath. We'd get the whole thing except our backs, and we'd just call our buddy, come down the hall, hook me up in the back.
Yep.
And then that was it. And then you do that 2 or 3 times, but somehow, some way, it began to try to make things more efficient.
Easy. In the 90s it started. The early 90s became where this spray tanning kind of evolution started.
But is I'm going to cut you off. But
no, please.
When you spray tan, that's more like, it's like a car situation, right?
Yeah.
But I felt that I looked leaner when I applied it myself. And the cuts just look deeper when I apply it myself. Is it too thick?
No.
Can someone put too much on?
No. You cannot. Let's take it back. You can't put too much of the liquid on; it won't affect you. But you could put too much tan on to get too dark. But the answer to your question is the reason why you did it by yourself back in the days. It was easy. It was convenient. Like you said, to your friend. You didn't have to wait in line. Like we do appointments. Pro-Tan chicas do appointments, but other people do a cattle call. So imagine you're carb depleted. You want to wait 2 or 3 hours before you get a tan. That's not a fun experience. So doing it at home. Now, let's go on to Olympia because we're here at Olympia. Olympia, those athletes, most of the pros, we actually do by hand. Most of the chicas will actually do the pros by hand application. Yes, we spray tan quite a bit of them, but a lot of the pros, it's in the old days, the Dexters, we have a lot of friends in the industry. We have a lot of athletes who are friends of ours, and they get special service. Our chicas, they do great. So hand is the way to go. Spray is efficient. Does it apply as well? It does. You waste. Imagine the overspray you have, because when you're putting out your brush, it's right here. But when you're spraying, you're wasting quite a bit of it.
Is the price difference
Oh, it's much more affordable to do it yourself. I mean, there's no doubt. But you don't get the custom service. Now, when you think about it, the shows backstage, we're always going to be there to help touch you up, put oil on you, put your bikini. But that's the pro tan status. That's what we do. We make sure that no matter who you tan with or at the show, you got to look your best.
So
I got a big question for you because
Sure,
Chris
sure.
brought it up. I was dying to ask this question.
Sure.
All ethnicities need a tan, correct?
Yes. In fact, I'm throwing back Robbie Robinson. So
The
I'm going
Black
old school,
Prince,
baby.
you're going-
I'm going way back because I've been doing this a
Wow.
long time. I'll never forget when Robbie asked me to tan. I'm like, "Are you kidding me, Robbie?" He's like, "No, I've got a farmer's tan." I go, "Let me see it." I don't believe it. He takes a bicep like that and I go, "Holy shit, you got a farmer's tan. Can you fix it?" I'm like, "Yeah, we could tan you." When I tanned Robbie Robinson, I did it myself. I'm like, I made it. I'm now officially tanning the darkest person in the world. And it was great. And he looked great on stage. He loved the color. Then, of course, my history with Dexter, Dexter's been my bestie forever. I got him in tanning beds to teach him to get base tan. You started doing tanning beds. It's all about preparation. We work so hard for the contest. You train. It was 18 weeks, 19 weeks out. I don't know. I'm not a bodybuilder, but
You're going to be.
Well,
Just maybe
discussed
when you were
this.
talking about,
Get
you
on
might give me
stage.
the challenge. I think
Yeah.
it might be on this TV. You never know.
I was losing. I was getting my tan in Palm Springs when it was super hot there.
Yeah.
You don't have to be out there that long, but then
Get a
I even-
base.
Yeah, and I owned a tanning
Bed.
bed salon at one time, and
Yeah.
it was. I mean, but the thing is though, it does help. It's going to make the body create more of an illusion of definition and
It's really
such.
simple. Let's talk about how the tan works. It's very simple. White reflects, black absorbs. If you're white and you're on stage and you have these lights, you're going to reflect. So you put that, you got blind spots all over the place. You won't see any definition. As you get tan, the light absorbs to your skin. So when you're darker, naturally darker, you're going to have a better appearance because the light is absorbing and reflecting with your skin, not off of your skin. So a white guy needs to be tan so the light doesn't. That's the whole idea behind a tan.
So
And-
you mean tanning before you go to the
Even
show?
a base tan, but a base tan is critical. Think about when we invented the product in 1987. So it started in 84. People were going to Venice Beach, getting in the beach. It was a whole thing. We're outdoor, you're tan, you're doing muscles. That's where the tan came. When you started to go into these venues with lights, people were getting washed out. So you go, wait a minute, I can't see that person on stage. So they're in a high school and the lights aren't professional. And they're like, wait a minute, everybody looks like a ghost. So they said, wait, let's get them on tan. So people would go to the beach. That's where the whole thing. If you go to Muscle Fitness days, early days, Dave Draper, Arnold, Ferrigno, always in the beach getting tan, Columbo. Guys forget to do that now. They don't want to put the effort into getting a base tan. There's some tricks to base tanning too, though.
Which
They're
are
very
because-
important.
But I was going to say, Stacy, the group of people that I see now, black, white, or other, they're not doing that whole thing anymore. I don't know what happened, or told people you only need to go get the tan.
That's what I was
because
told.
Well,
Because
see-
that's going to help you so much more. I used to start 5 weeks out, and I would tan up until that week of.
The week
then
of. And you
then
stop
I
the week
stopped.
of. And there's a
Yeah.
reason, because what happens with a tanning bed, because it gets hot, it'll hold water on your skin. So you want to cut any kind of outdoor, indoor tanning like the week before your show, because that heat will put a little water in your skin. You don't want to hold that moisture. Sensitive. So you want to get out of there. So a tanning bed you quit a week before. But anybody should have a base tan because it's a layer effect, guys. You can't go from a lily white piece of paper, or as fair as you are today,
But they're trying to
to look
do
like
it.
Chris in a matter of an
They're trying to-
hour.
you can never
So
look
this
like
is the
me.
problem. One of the
never
biggest
look
mistakes
like
in
me.
tanning is
Lily
how do I
white.
go from being a white, a light-skinned white person to a good-looking, healthy, tan person on stage that makes me look gorgeous on stage.
Are you wearing the tan right now?
I'm natural. This is a natural, but
Wow.
I work outdoors a lot. I like to
Okay.
garden. But
So-
yeah, this is my natural color.
You mentioned something interesting.
Thank you for asking, though, Chris.
How can you get too dark? And if you do get too dark, how can you back that down before the stage?
Shower.
Okay.
So this is what we see is happening, and we ask judges. So we're not a judge.
He's one.
Yes, he is, and he's a very good one, by the way. And I talked to Tara quite a bit about the tanning. He gives me a lot of criticism and critiques about it. It's important to have, which thank you for that. I think the biggest misconception, and it started, I don't want to throw Europe under the bus, but this is a good show, so I can throw Europe under the bus.
Yeah,
We
yeah.
got to be black. We want to be as dark as dark. And that was wrong. So you took an average person from Ireland, let's say, who was fairly light skinned and tried to make them look like they came from Zimbabwe. And they get on stage and go, what the hell happened to this person? You can't see their definition. The shit's running down their face. The coaches put more. They're not dark enough. And you're like, well, any darker, you're not going to see the person unless they smile. And by the way, this was a person from Ireland now we're talking about. This wasn't somebody from there. So the biggest problem I see is that, and it's getting better now, people want to be too dark. And too dark hides your definition, and it can hurt your positioning. As a judge, you would recognize that too dark doesn't work. The whole idea about the sport of bodybuilding, in my mind, Mr. Pro-Tan, I'm not a judge, I'm not a competitor, but when I invented the product was to make the most natural looking tan for the athletes to look their best on stage. And what does that mean? Show your definition without hiding it. Make sure that every striation is shown without covering it. And then make sure you have the proper oil on there, because the oil is also very important, to make sure that it highlights your muscle and not reflect it. That was the whole goal. But as things have progressed, like anything in the sport of bodybuilding, one coat becomes 2 coats, 2 coats become 3, 3 becomes 5, and 10.
You think more,
next thing you know, I got a guy that wants 50
more
coats.
Is better.
Okay,
Well,
but let me tell you, some of the black competitors, some are darker than others, different shades of black. So do you think when we're looking for more definition in a darker person, that can be a little bit of hindrance to that striational look?
Yes, however, most African American skin types are ashy skin, there's a dry skin. So that natural sunlight, that little bit of sunlight, when I say little bit, a couple of days of natural sunlight will give you that redness you want, that healthy glow. So that your skin is now healthy, not ashy. So you're going to get a base tan no matter what. And look, some guys don't need to put Pro-Tan on. A lot of our athletes in the physique world don't get as dark. We have a grease called Quick Bronze, which is like a quick.
I've seen that.
Yeah,
It's good.
it's
yeah.
really good.
It look like a trophy.
Yeah, but it's perfect. But
Yeah.
it's not a dream tan. Okay,
Yeah.
I'm throwing my competitor out there. It's not a price. It's not a makeup like that. It's actually a light oil that has color. What's nice about
what is it called, Stacy? I'm
called
here.
Quick Bronze.
Okay.
And Quick Bronze is used by a lot of physique guys because most of the physique guys are darker skin right now,
Yeah.
and they just want to have a nice sheen. So Quick Bronze has a matte sheen, so it's a really nice look under the stage. Not shiny, so the judge will see the definition, but it has instant color. So if you had that little ashiness, it takes it out of you. So that's a really good thing for that. And it's kind of Andre Ferguson and all my guys, it's their trick. They say, it's out of the bag, Andre.
What-
George,
I
I'm
like
sorry,
what-
it's out of the bag. Everybody, Quick Bronze, what you use. If you're an African-American physique guy, Quick Bronze, what you use, plus 1 coat of Pro-Tan, 1 base. And let me tell you why. Then you could shower. You could be normal. So often guys, they're afraid to shower. So
Yeah.
you go the whole day not showering. But with our product, you can shower off, and then you could apply one other coat before the show. So the days are not to shower, sit around all day like this, don't touch anything. It's terrible. And you asked a very important question. What if you're too dark? Take a shower. We've had to do that. I don't mind telling you. When Rami won the Olympia, guess what? We threw him in the shower. We said, and he threw it, took him in the shower. Coach says, yeah, took him in the shower. We re-tan him, gorgeous.
Well, now I noticed
Hottie
someone-
Chopin, shower. Some guys come
Look
too
at
dark.
this tan here by, can we focus right here?
That's a gorgeous color.
Look
there.
at this.
Yeah.
This looks nice.
See, the Irish thing you were talking about, I noticed that with Samson. He's from the UK, but he looks Nigerian.
Yes.
Yeah.
He's very dark. He
Yeah.
gets tan perfectly. He can get a little too dark. Sometimes they can get a little too dark. You're right, Chris, because underneath these certain areas, you just got to be very careful. And it's crazy, but it's,
I got a question. Tattoos.
yes, everybody has
What do
them.
we do?
Well, we will
What
cover
do
that when we come back. And
Okay.
with one more question. We're going to cue you up, let your mind wander. I want to talk about skin prep as well, because that's
important.
That's a big thing, too.
Critical.
We're going to talk about the do's. We're talking about some don'ts. We're going to talk about the do's with Stacy Kaufman from Pro-Tan when we come back.
You diet down, train hard, and supplement smart for months. When the time comes to step on stage, don't leave your tan to chance. Go with the pros. Pro-Tan. #1 worldwide since 1987 and the official sponsor of the Olympia for the last 15 years. Don't step on stage without it. Pro-Tan.
All right, we're back with Stacy Kaufman from Pro-Tan. Stacy, Chris asked a question going into break about tattoos.
Before I answer the question, I'm going to ask the head judge. Do you guys mark down for tattoos?
No. What we mark down is when we can't see the muscle definition. I've seen guys win pro shows with a lot of tattoos. I've seen people win pro shows covering their tattoos. As long as we can see naturally the muscle definition, we're fine with it. What I wanted to add is this. I have seen competitors diet for 12, 16 weeks. I have seen them go to check-ins and spend a whole day trying to lose weight so they would make it into a class. And then they go make it into a class at the USA's and Nationals. Then these guys go on stage, get a first call out. They look great, but they miss their pro card because their tanning was horrible. I have seen that happen. And let me tell you, it is devastating for the competitor.
Yeah.
Because he dieted for 12 weeks, he fought to lose weight, he did everything right, but in the end of the day, his tanning was not good, and that's why he placed out of the top 1 at the USA's, top 2 at the USA's. And I remember speaking with the competitor. He tried to do the tanning himself for the finals, and it got even worse. He went from being first place to third place. So my message to all the competitors, as a judge, do not trust, and I don't mean any disrespect, but you have to know that you need proper tanning on stage. That is as crucial as your posing. Yep. That is as crucial as your presentation. That is as crucial as dieting. I don't care if Hadi Chupa, Derek Lunsford, and Nick Walker, if they don't tan at the Mr. Olympia, they're not going to win the Mr. Olympia.
Absolutely.
You know, they're not going to win the Mr. Olympia. So this is a critical part of being a bodybuilder competitor, is to know your tan, to know your skin, and to execute properly. You don't tan properly, you could go from first to third. Yeah. I have seen it.
Yeah. Luckily for us, Pro Tan has been around for so long. We've trained tremendous amount. Globally, we have over 400 individual spray tanners that do the pup tens. Yeah. Just so you know, but they go through certifications and training. But let me answer the question about the tattoos. Yes. So it's very important. So we as a company recognize that there are people that want to cover tattoos. Some people just have them everywhere and they can't cover them. Okay, so we make 2 products for tanning, for tattoo cover. One is a little makeup that we use for smaller tattoos. Some people have a little small one they want to hide. You can hide that with the makeup. But the full body ones, even if you take Andre Ferguson, it's got it all over his chest. His tattoos could affect his abdominals because his tattoos cover.
What is the name of the product?
Well, our product is called Tattoo Cover Up. We have
and it's right here under.
Correct. Tattoo cover-ups. There's a makeup and a spray. The spray is out of stock now, but the spray is for total body. So you'll get guys that are totally sleeve, next thing, I don't want to go on stage. Like, well, why are you competing?
Yeah.
This is, you put the art on, show it, motherfucker.
Yeah,
show it.
Yeah,
sorry about that.
No, sorry about
I get a little excited.
You can cuss here, man.
Okay, good. Okay. I'm glad. Sorry about that. Get a little excited.
You can't cancel here. So you got the black guy, the brown guy, the white guy, you got the Asian.
And we got them
Nobody
all.
can
the
cancel
Dominican
us.
wife in the back.
Nobody can cancel us.
Right, so the point I was saying is that the guys that want to cover, we make a spray. Now this spray is basically spray paint. Okay, and you could spray it on and it'll cover you, look great, and then you put your oil and you're done, then you wash it off. But you have to do your entire body. You cannot spot. We've done some backs. You can blend them, but it's really hard. So I tell people with tattoos, go with your tattoos.
But is that but if you put makeup, is that gonna hide a cut or two?
Well, being fortunate,
it's a little bit thicker.
It's a little bit, yes, because it's a foundation, so it does hide, and that's why I don't like it as much. And I tell you guys, you're sacrificing that razor sharp by putting a layer of a foundation, because it's a makeup. Let's face it. So let's talk about the Pro Tan. What is Pro Tan is basically a water-based product that has oil put over it. The oil seals it. Okay, so the oil, the posing oil, the show shine, that seals it. Oil and water don't mix. So when you put a paste on, you got to put your oil on. So when do people sweat if they don't put oil? Well, let's keep on the tattoo thing. The tattoo is very tricky because you do put a foundation and you will hide the definition. It's that simple. If you got grainy skin and you got those veins and you cover your tattoo, you're going to hide it a little bit. So I'm not a big tattoo coverer. We make the products. There's people that want them. I love them for it. You can keep buying it. But you heard it from the judge, the head judge. It's not necessary. And we get a lot of questions about that.
I would say 95% of the competitors do not hide their tattoos.
Which is good.
But I have seen Stan McQuaid covering his back tattoos at the Salt City Showdown, his first classic physique win, and he covered his back tattoos and he still won the show. I agree with Stacy. I wouldn't cover the tattoos. There's that additional layer. We could see his definition, but I'm with you on that one.
It's cosmetics.
I want, and I'm sorry to go back here because I find this to be important. Give me the 3 biggest mistakes competitors make, and I want the NPC competitors to pay attention to this. The 3 biggest mistakes that young competitors make when it comes to tanning. that they eventually regret when they see their images on stage?
Okay. The first one is what you said, Chris. Sorry, 10 point to you, Chris.
No. I'll take it.
Preparation, skin preparation. Like anything, you're dieting, your skin is a living organism, which means it sheds every 14 days. So you want to exfoliate. So imagine putting any kind of color on your skin. You've got to put on fresh, healthy skin. So you want to exfoliate on a regular basis, like daily. So we make a product called Get Buff. It's a natural exfoliator. It basically sloughs your skin. So you
Comes
have
with a little glove, little scratchy
you
glove.
don't even need a glove. It scratches by itself.
I
But
like the glove.
you
The
can put a
glove
glove.
is
The
nice.
glove is nice. You could be like Michael, have one glove on, one glove off. It's work. Yeah, that's all good. So if you do the Michael thing, gloves will work. It gets a little more scratchier though, just for the record. So be careful.
Yeah.
But with that said, that's like prep. You do it like for a week before your show. Help out. Make sure. Then take your hair off. So these are the most. That's step one. Most guys don't want to prep their skin. Guys or girls. So what does that mean? Their tan might look a little blotchy sometimes. And if they have a show back to back, it won't wear off as even. So prepping is one. The most important thing though is a base tan. For everybody, you've got to get a base tan no matter what. You cannot step on stage without a tan, like you said earlier. Well, it's a pro tan or a natural tan, okay? You've got to have color. Why? To absorb the light. If you go white, you're going to reflect. It's that simple. So a natural tan. People do not go in the tanning beds or the lake or the pool or the beach prior to going to a show, and I don't understand why. But you want to stop that, though, about a week before the show also. Once again, you go in the heat, it holds water. You want a tanning bed, it holds water. Anything that's creating heat, your brain is saying hold water. So you want to be careful. So a week out, we don't let people do that. But prior, like Dexter's routine was a week up, Dexter, tan, 3 times a week, tan, get in the sun. Get that. And it also depletes you, it makes you harder. So that's this step 2.
Well,
The third one is to make sure you know the protocol before you get on your show, whether you talk to your coach, whether you talk to us online, know what the steps are. I mean, like, what do I have to do? So not only do you want to get a base tan and prep, but at least know what you're supposed to do. I think that's the most important part, is knowing how to tan. And I guess there's 4 things for me. Coaches have to be careful on what they tell the athletes, because each light of a stage is different. Now, I know Joe Coachier or Sally Coachier did all these shows in different venues, but each venue is different. And when you're tanning at a venue, we have to pay attention to the lights to make sure we either make the person too dark, a little bit darker, so they're bright, or lighter. And that's kind of our pro tan trick. So step 4 is look at your coach and make sure that they're giving you the best information, then look your best on stage, the most natural looking. The goal is about natural looking. You want to look healthy on stage. Look at Visser. Visser looked great in his tan. We normally tan Visser. He comes in really good now. His tan's starting to get good, but he's a nice dark brown guy, like looking good. His color looked really good his last show. I like that. Ryan Terry. If you saw his,
Oh, yeah, I saw Ryan Terry.
Oh, don't mention Ryan Terry.
Wait a minute, I got to mention Ryan.
That's Tim
Sorry.
Wilkins' crush.
Well, that's
right
okay.
there.
He's my crush
He's
too.
amazing.
Listen, he's my crush. But Ryan does his tan himself, and we finalize him. He does it on his own. So many of the pros
Tim
are
will
doing
help
He
it.
could have so much help if he just asked.
Tim will help.
All right, Ryan, you heard that.
If
I'm
Tim-
not pimping you out.
Ryan,
I'm sorry, Amy,
Ryan,
but
if you
Tim,
need,
you know,
Tim will give you an extra code.
but give me an example. So Ryan's been
Restraining order time, thanks.
yeah, right. Ryan's been with us since day one,
Yeah.
and he's trusted the process that we gave him, and I like that. And the athletes and our girls, Carla, all our girls, Denise, Alyssa, Nikki, all the girls that we've been using for
Carla
so many.
Salati.
Yeah, Carla.
Carla Salati
Alyssa,
is incredible,
the OG.
amazing. She's the OG. Well, a lot
She's my OG.
of the young people don't know Carla was a great competitor.
Great competitor.
Yeah.
And she understands bodybuilding. Sometimes she comes up to me and she goes, Tarek, this so-and-so number here, she might win the overall. I'm like, Carla, come on. The show hasn't started. What are you talking about?
That's it?
After the show, she comes up to me and she says, Tarek, didn't I tell you? And I'm like, what?
No, she's good.
The person that you told me backstage won the overall? Yes, Tarek. She knows the sport. Elisa is amazing. You call them chicas, right?
Yeah, the Protein Chicas.
Are they all Latinas somehow? Or?
No, it's just they like the name Chicas. They put it plural. It's Protein Chica, but there's so many of them they call them Chicas. And we have a couple of
Chicas.
Chicos too.
Oh, okay.
The Chicos. But the Chicos aren't allowed to tan, just for the record. So we're very unique. We only tan with women. We only tan women, because in my professional life, I felt it was responsible for me as a man that has a wife, that I would not want my wife or my significant other to be there butt naked with a gun being spray tanned by another man. So we made a policy to do only women. And what's great about our business now, and I'm getting off tangent, is most of our women's spray tanners come from the sport. They're athletes. Like Carla, she's a pro.
Yeah.
Because to do this work, to be a tanner at a show, it is butt breaking, dude.
Hundreds.
These girls are working 20
Yeah.
hours. I mean, this is not easy, and I want to thank my team, our team, both domestically and globally, for doing such a great job. And I hope the athletes around the world really recognize that this job is a job of passion.
I have a question for you.
Nobody wants to do this job.
Hold on. I have a
Okay.
question for you. Real easy question. We call this segment Losing Followers, Losing Friends, and Making Enemies. Since
know my life.
1987, your company has been a complete success in the bodybuilding world. Out of all the people that have tanned for you, who was your best tanner?
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
That's a good one. So, look, I started, I'm going to tell you the first tanner was, her name is CJ. And you know CJ?
Was
Yeah.
she better than Carla?
No, listen, Carla is operational. She's a phenomenal hand painter. Carla's a phenomenal hand painter. I'm not going to lie. She's a phenomenal hand painter. She's not the best with a gun. I got to tell you, I got a bunch of girls, but right now, you know, some of my top girls, I mean, Kelly's killing it. Kelly Ring really does a good job. Now, she owns a tanning salon, so she's got a little bit of advantage. She does it for a living, too. Alyssa, you know, is great.
Alyssa
Donice
is my
phenomenal.
favorite.
So, but Donice,
Alyssa is my
but we have
favorite.
concoctions too. So, like Donice is the queen of concoctions, okay? And I'm gonna tell you because Nick Walker has a certain blend. Certain now, Ian Valera had certain blends. There's certain, you know, Hunter Labrada, certain ways. You know, some tricks to the trade we have to do for these guys. Each guy's specific.
You got to
and
blend
that's
it
what
to
we-
match his hat.
Yeah, normally, but you know, and by the way, Lee was my athlete. So when I see,
wow.
and look at Lee's color, but I still want to go back to the original guys and look at their color compared to this today. If we can all go back to looking as natural and as healthy as possible, the world would be a better place for protein.
And if you're a
Because I cringe when people are running or dark, like, oh my, you know, I get nauseous. It's terrible.
If you're a male athlete and you
Yes.
have an all-female crew doing it, I will give the story of my wife saying to Carla, you know, how do you feel about this? And I was standing there. She said, oh, honey, I've seen bigger. I've seen bigger. I've seen better. Don't worry about it.
But you know we have crotch socks too. You know
Yes,
that.
yes, and try to find other sizes, please. It's embarrassing. No, it is. Everyone is
I'm sorry,
incredibly
Tim.
professional.
Thank
No,
you.
it hurts on the inside where you can't see it. Everyone's incredibly professional. I've been working around you folks for 26 years now.
Oh, thank you.
And everybody is just such top. It's the top of the sport.
Well, thank you, and I thank you for that because one, our brand is synonymous with bodybuilding. I'm blessed. I'm blessed to have been here. I started this company when I was 19 years old. I'll be 60 this year, so it's a long time. Jim Mannion and I have been great friends over the year in the early days because you know we're much older now. I don't see him as much. I love him to death, but he really helped me catapult the business because it was the beginning. You know, the NPC newsletter. I'm going back to NPC. We were the founding sponsor. So back then, so Pro-Tan has been the institution of bodybuilding, and I'm proud of it. I'm getting a little older now. You don't see me as much. I go to the Olympia shows, I go to the Nationals, I'll go to the Arnold. But for the most part, I've become a grandfather. I have children now that have kids, and I have to pay attention on the weekends. I got a beautiful wife that loves me. I got to take care of all the time. So bodybuilding shows you don't see us as much. We travel a lot, but we love what we built. We love the industry, and we can't thank it enough to be as what I call successful. To live our whole life in a sport is knock wood for us. So thank you, everybody. Thanks for having me here as well.
It's a pleasure.
But let's
It's
talk
our
about
honor.
let's talk about the dirty people because you know I got to throw this out
Dirty
there.
son of a gun.
I can't have it anymore, guys. No more darkness, please. Can we not make everybody so dark?
As a judge,
Darkness.
I'm gonna make note what you're saying, and I think what you're saying is correct. Too dark is not beneficial. But in the next segment, Tim, I want to mention something.
Well, let's have Stacy back. We'll do that for sure.
I look forward to it.
Thank you for joining us.
You're welcome.
Always
A pleasure.
applies by. Like, subscribe, comment, share your amazing stories with Pro-Tan and all the them bringing out your very best on stage. Chris Cormier.
That's what's up.
All right, buddy.
I think I might be a little ashy right now.
I got some lotion for you. I'll hook you up.
All right. Tarek Kilgidney, Stacy, great to see you.
Pleasure's mine, Tim.
We'll
Thanks
see you
for having
next
me.
time on the next Primetime Muscle.